Since 2002, 4 Supported Accommodation and Assistance Program, or SAAP, agencies in the Sunshine Coast region have shared a pool of additional funding, which they have applied to individual responses for young people who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. Through a formal cooperative working agreement, the partner agencies are able to use funds to provide additional support beyond this existing funding focus to help high-needs clients avoid homelessness. Funds are utilised to organise lots of programs for youth, and these programs stabilise their lifestyle to prevent being homeless. Youth housing and service organisations in the Sunshine Coast region had been working together since 2000 to collaborate to share a pool of emergency relief funds for a flexible, client-centred approach. In 2002, the then Department of Families allocated recurrent funding of $60,000 to enhance the capacity of the existing SAAP system in the 4 local government authorities within the region. The Department's regional office facilitated development of an agreement between 4 organisations working with young people in the area to create the flexible SAAP response. The primary target group are typically aged 14 to 18 years, homeless or at risk of homelessness, and with high levels of needs that are not able to be met within the normal service provision and existing agency or community resources. The 4 partners are signatories to a cooperative working agreement, originally signed in 2002. A service plan outlines the responsibilities of the auspicing organisation. Partners agreed to meet a minimum of once each quarter to monitor and review arrangements, expenditure and accountabilities, although more often this contact has been by phone. As a result of this collaboration, the following outcomes have been achieved: service delivery across the broader region, broader options and choices for disadvantaged young people, realisation of true early intervention and prevention approaches, maintenance of respective individual and organisational governance and structural frameworks, and a flow-on effect from the flexible pool of resources to local services. The formal signed agreement is described as the glue ensuring the commitment to provide a flexible pool of resources for young people stays real. The agreement has allowed each partner organisation to develop independently while ensuring the program has continued to focus on young people without organisations having to embrace each other totally. Regional staff from the then Department of Families were at the forefront in establishing the flexible response to youth homelessness and have supported the program since, including increasing the flexible pool of funds in November 2006. The participating organisations have aimed to partner well beyond the narrow information sharing function of most interagency networks, but to generate inter-organisational solutions and strategies that are locally relevant, built on local strengths, and engender local responsibility. The flexible response was based on an intention to increase young people's sense of belonging and connectedness with their community, including family and schools, and encourage a caring community reaction. The partners considered that services that are not couched in young people's community of belonging actually increase disconnectedness by ignoring and disempowering existing networks, introducing people to welfare-oriented networks, and connecting people with other people in similar stages of disconnection or alienation. Back in 2002, 2 of the 4 agencies originally planning a joint submission instead made last-minute individual funding submissions. Later discussions led to the current alliance, but this experience prompted development of more formal mechanisms for cooperation than those originally envisaged. Confusions between agencies about clarity, values, organisational changes, and ability to work together were reduced through signing of the Cooperative Working Agreement. Ongoing work is required to avoid the pooled resources being consumed into existing SAAP or other service project areas, or being compartmentalised to each partner organisation rather than retaining the potential from the pooling of the funds. While the partners agreed to meet regularly, time, changing relationships, organisational values and directions have made this a struggle, with most communication occurring over the phone. As the Auspice, Integrated Family and Youth Service is currently working with the Department of Communities to create a specific service agreement for the flexible SAAP response, rather than the current model where it sits under an existing SAAP service agreement. Contact Mark Clissold, Integrated Family and Youth Services, Inc. Phone 5438 3000.